Hey guys, I'm Isabella Jane, and I have considered joining Booktube for so many months, but I am finally giving in. I have been watching, probably for about a year, I've been watching Zoe from Read by Zoe, Emma from The Bookish Princess, and Kate Howe over on her channel, and I've just really loved seeing other people who love books as much as I do, so I finally decided to join in with them. I have been an avid reader my whole life. I love reading the classics especially. Those are always my go-to, whether it's children's classics or adult classics. I'll read some modern, some Christian books, but classics are definitely what my standpoint is. So I thought for this video I would show you guys what I've been reading in July so you can get a taste for what I like. This past month I have only read one book, which is really sad, but I'm working through several others all at the same time, and one of them is huge, which will explain a lot. So the first book, and really the only book that I completely finished in the month of July, was this one. It's called The Collected Stories of Maud Hart Lovelace and Delos Lovelace. This is the author of one of my favorite book series called the Betsy Tacy series. It's up there with Anne of Green Gables and Jane Austen books, and it's a series about a girl growing up, turn of the century. She made them semi-autobiographical, and they're just really sweet, and I enjoy them so much. And so her character Betsy writes short stories, and Maud Hart Lovelace, the author, used the short stories that she wrote at that age in her books. So reading this book was like reading Betsy's stories, which was such a pleasure. I absolutely loved them. They were kind of like miniature Hallmark movies, so very sweet and simple, to the point, nothing like mind-blowingly spectacular, but here's one. This is from Ainsley's, and they give you a picture of the magazine, and it's called Emma Middleton Cuts Cross Country. And so this is the one in the Betsy books where she gets her first $100 check, and she's so excited. And so that was really big for me to read that story, because I feel like Betsy is one of my good friends, and I just really enjoyed having that story in my own hands. So yeah, they were very fun. There was like the typical, oh, we'll pretend we're engaged, but we're not actually, and then, oh, okay, well, maybe we will be actually engaged, and stories like that. So, but definitely a thoroughly enjoyable read. I found that short stories aren't normally my thing. I really prefer to grow with the characters. So in reading this, which is one of the few short story books I read, I found, okay, maybe that's not my style as much, but they were still enjoyable. I would probably give it like a 4 out of 5 stars. Nothing wrong with it, it just didn't stop me in my tracks, but it was very cute. So I also have 3 books that I've been working through this past month. The first one is the one that my Bible study started, which is called None Like Him by Jen Wilkin. 10 Ways God is Different from Us and Why That's a Good Thing. And this one has been amazing so far. I'm very excited to finish it. It goes through 10 major characteristics of God, but in very tangible ways. Characteristics of God, I feel, can be very abstract, and you're kind of confused about what the point is. This is very concrete. Here's what he is, here's what you're not, and how that makes your life better because you're not those things. So it's been thoroughly enjoyable. As you can see, lots of highlights in this book. So lots of quotes that I kept going, wow, okay, that makes so much sense. And her writing style, I almost feel like she's writing a novel, even though it's nonfiction. So I've really enjoyed that. I have a very hard time with books that are not stories, whether it's nonfiction or fiction, but if they're not a story, I have a hard time pushing through it. So this was a pleasant surprise because I'm wanting to read it, even though it's not a story, because of the way it's written. So I'm really excited to see how she takes the rest of the book. The next one was from the library, and this one is called This Year You Write Your Novel by Walter Mosley. This one's good. I am not very far into it right now, but it's a super short book. It's just kind of a very tangible way of, you can write the story. It's possible. It's not a lot of practical tips necessarily, at least not yet. But it is kind of the kick in your pants that you need to just sit down and start writing and stop beating around the bush and stop coming up with excuses, just write. So it's been helpful. We'll see how it turns out. The last book, and the reason I didn't read anything else, is I'm working through this, Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. This thing is so big. I've stopped sometimes and just, so many words. There's just so many words. I don't understand how he did. I mean, the handwritten. So many words. So, it's been very good. I'm on page 340, so I'm about 40%-ish through. So far, the characters are really good because I don't despise any of them, even though what they're doing is so wrong. So that tells you he's created good characters because you want them to do the wrong thing. It reminds me of a cross between The Great Gatsby and Scarlet Letter, where you're kind of, you have to know why they're doing these bad things, how is this going to turn out, like you're addicted to the awfulness of it all, and then also you're rooting for the wrong thing, like in Scarlet Letter. So it's just a very kind of book. You just don't know what to do with it. I am kind of stuck in the labor party right now, which is slow and painful, and I know we'll get through it, and I know it gets good after that, so I'm trying to push through. My goal is to finish this by August 4th. We'll see if that actually happens. It's not going to happen, but we're going to try, and hopefully I'll get it done before I go back to school. The Russian names are going to kill me. They're impossible. This book clarified some things. They had a little cheat sheet at the beginning where they talked about how you have a first name and then the father's name and then your last name. So when you greet someone, you have to greet them by their first name and father's name unless you're super close with them, or their last name. But you can't just use their first name. So that helped a little bit. Just make it so complicated. So it's good, it's confusing, it's interesting. It's kind of dull right now, but I'm sure it'll get better. I'm really excited to see how the rest of this goes, so wish me luck to see if that actually happens or if I tire out too soon. So that is what I've been reading in the month of July. I hope to post on here when I can. I'm going back to college, so it's going to be nearly impossible to film in a dorm room. We'll see how this goes, but I definitely love Booktube and I'm super excited to join you guys. Have a great day. Goodbye!